Hey everybody, it's Vallen from Mischief of Mice, here with another bit by bit on Thaumcraft. We are going over Thaumaturgy today, specializing on wands, caps, staves, and scepters. So, without further ado, let's begin. Alright. Oh, no, we're not going that way today. Hey Timmy. Today we're going down another passage. Hey Pickles, how's it going? Alright, first and foremost, let me bring out the Thaumanomicon. Now in here, you're going to find many tabs, the first of which we need to go over is Thaumaturgy, the one with the little wand icon. You'll notice I have unlocked a lot of stuff. That's because I went into creative and just unlocked everything at this point. Now you'll notice I have all these different cores and staves, got all the caps and wand foci, excuse me. Well, we're pretty much going to be going over that. So, to start with, we're going to be doing rods and cores. Now, you have your basic one that you started with, which is just a stick with some iron caps on either end. Then there's the great wood one that we upgraded to. And the first one you started with, iron capped wooden one, was 25V capacity. The great wood has a 50V capacity, if you notice here, capacity 50. Then, if you move on up to the silver wood, you've got 100 capacity. And those are all in your book here. I mean, your silver wood, how to make one of those on the Arcane Infusion altar. And then you've got your great wood, which is just made in an arcane bench with a little bit of Perditio. Now, moving on, there are 6 more that are all specialized to certain elements. The blazing is ignis, bone is Perditio, reed is air, quartz is ordo, obsidian is terra, and icy is aqua. Now the difference is that these actually will have less of a V capacity than the silver wood wand core. Now you might think, well, why would I even bother with those ones? Because they have a regenerative ability on each of these special aspects. So to give an example, let's start with the blaze one. Blaze rod core is made as such in an arcane infusion, so you will need your infusion altar. And if your ignis is ever below 10% of the wand's capacity, then it will automatically, slowly, start regenerating ignis. And it will do the same if you have a bone wand for Perditio, as shown here. Plus, the Perditio one, you should know, is a forbidden knowledge item, though it's mostly harmless. Reed, which is air, made as such. Quartz for ordo, which I find to be one of the most difficult ones to actually find in the world, even if it's just research. Obsidian for terra, it's made as such. And last but not least is icy. And a lot of people might think, well, why still would I even care to regenerate 10% of the V of these aspects? Well, specifically, if you have, let's say, a blazing wand, and you end up putting on that, where is it here? Oops, I just took it off my inventory. Here we go. Take it off that one, and we'll put it on this one. Put on there your wand focus of fire, right? Well, here's the thing. I started with 8, now I'm down to 6, now I'm down to 5. Eventually, though, it will regenerate up to 10% of its maximum, which is 75 on this wand that I have. So it will actually regenerate rounding up. So it will regenerate up to 8 of that, therefore giving you a practically infinite amount to use for wand cores to a point. So that's pretty cool like that. You know that you can always still have some of the aspect on there. It'll work really well for wand cores like excavation. If you do a lot of digging, then you can constantly regenerate the terra and not have to worry about always running out at the last minute, and so on. So it's pretty useful like that. And with the increased capacity, you might be able to make it last considerably longer. Now, moving on to the next. We have here caps. Now I have 6 on display, though there's only actually 4. Now you should also be aware that there are many different wands and caps, staves, scepters, and so on if you add in a lot of different Thaumcraft add-ons and mods, but I'm just covering the basic Thaumcraft mod. Now the iron caps, as we have found out by making our own, the V cost is 110%. So it's not that effective for using spells, or for using foci on it, or even for crafting in an arcane altar, or arcane workbench, excuse me. Plus, it may kill nodes if you drain them to 0, so you don't want to end up using those if you can avoid it. Now the gold caps are a little safer with that, and provided that you have unlocked Node Preserver in your Thaumanomicon, you should be able to drain nodes down to 1 instead of 0, and then you're not risking destroying that aspect on a node anymore. Plus, you don't have a loss of the aspect anymore. I don't have any gold ones in my inventory, but it's 100% V cost instead of 110%. Now, thaumium caps, when you first make them, as I will show you here, actually, there's your gold ones, just some gold nuggets and a little bit there in the workbench. Thaumium wand caps, it's similar, just some thaumium nuggets, a few aspects, but they're going to be inert, which means they're not going to be able to be used on a wand yet. You have to infuse them in your arcane altar. So, if you do this with some Salus Mundus, then you should be able to get infused thaumium caps. And Salus Mundus is made just by smelting a balanced shard. So that will get you 90% of the V cost. So now you can see this is really making a big difference. You've saved from your iron caps to your thaumium caps a good 20%. Now, as an endgame item, I'm only just listing this, I'm not explaining how you have to go through everything to get to it, is going to be void metal caps. These are made from void metal, and you'll only find them if you have the Eldritch tab already open and researched, which void metal nuggets and several aspects, you will then have to do the same thing you did with the Thaumcraft ones. You'll have to infuse them to make them charged, and it will require Salus Mundus just like before in a few different aspects. Now, excuse me, this will actually give you an 80% V cost instead of the 90%, so these are even better. But in the base Thaumcraft mod, it will actually not work on one item. And I will get into that at the end of this video. So keep in mind that this is also forbidden knowledge, and it tends to be quite a bit risky. Mostly harmless there, but I mean, once you've gotten into the Eldritch tab, then you're really getting into stuff that's going to affect you. So, going into the last bit here, and this is where we really get specialized, and if you thought we were specializing before. So a scepter. A scepter is very different from a wand, but it has some of the same functionality. Now it will give you an additional 10% V cost reduction, as well as an extra 50% V capacity. So for instance, I have here a thaumium embossed silverwood scepter. So that's got thaumium caps on a silverwood core, and it's actually crafted, oh, where'd my Thaumanomicon go? There it is, by doing this. Now this is just going to run through a bunch of different selections, but essentially 3 caps, 1 rod, and a primal charm, plus a lot of aspects at the bottom depending upon what you're assembling it with, will get you a scepter of different variabilities. Now it cannot be used as a wand with a wand foci though. So if I were to take this and press F, you know, I get the wand foci selection. Now if I pick this up, actually, here, let me put that one back. If I pick this one up and press F, nothing happens. I can't even use my focus pouch with it. So it's specifically designed for creating items in your arcane work table, because it's going to have a very large capacity and it's going to give you the best discount. So that's going to allow you to make some of the most difficult to make items and keep it in there for quite a while so that you don't have to constantly take it out. Now, staves, they are kind of the opposite of a scepter. Those, first and foremost, have attack damage. You can see here +6 attack damage, so they can be used as a weapon in a pinch. Think Gandalf for those having trouble imagining that. And they also have a higher V capacity depending upon the staff core that you end up using, but you cannot craft with them. They are just too big to work in the arcane table. So while this is more sized towards the arcane work table, this here is going to be more for use with the wand foci, which it will accept. For instance, I have a void aspected silverwood staff, which you can see here has a capacity of 250, which is great for when you're out in the field, plus an 80% V cost instead of, you know, a higher one for the other stuff. So it's pretty darn cool. But then what I have here is actually a primal staff, which I will show you that in a moment here. But you've got all the different staves, and they are made similarly to the staffs. You just take a couple of rods plus a primal charm, and that works for just about any of them. Let's see, silver wood, quartz, silverwood staff core, same thing with this one. It's going to get you 250, whereas the 6 aspected ones are going to get you 175. Now, if you are able to unlock some of the endgame content in the Eldritch tab, you might be able to get a staff core of the primal, which kind of is very difficult to make to begin with in an arcane infusion. But its rewards are pretty impressive. It essentially will take all the low recharge bonuses from all the specialized staves or wands that you have in the previous room here. It will take all the bonuses here of the 10% bonus that it recharges automatically and apply it to all of them. Plus, you'll get the added bonus of the 250. Now, the only drawback on this is, and it's not much of a drawback at all, in fact, it's probably a good thing still, is that the average V cost you notice here is 90%. And the last staff I had, which, was 80%. Well, the reason being, this one has got void wand caps. This one has thaumium wand caps. And for me to demonstrate how that's different, if you look here, I have some thaumium caps and a staff core of the primal, which I already had made. And it requires, with all my discounts and everything, 153, which if I put on my full gear, I should be able to get with a full thaumium boss silverwood scepter. Not a problem, right? And then I would get this staff here. Well, if I take void metal caps in order to better get that discount, the 80% instead of the 90%, well, you notice that the cost has gone up exponentially here. 230, that's quite a lot. Now, if I deck myself out in full void gear, plus a top-notch scepter that I can make, I still can't reach this. So you'd probably have to use modded Minecraft with another mod in order to obtain this level. So, just so that you're aware. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, I would appreciate a like, a comment, or subscribe. And until next time. See ya.